Why is colorblindness so toxic to racial justice? Why is it such a barrier?
Why is colorblindness a barrier to racial justice? Racial justice. Justice predicated on skin color. But setting that aside for now, let's define terms, at least insofar as I understand them. Colorblindness is the principle, if not the inherent reflex, of ignoring skin color as a factor in assessing someone's character. You could just as well be talking about eye color or hair color, since those are, as well, arbitrary factors to a person's physical makeup and determine nothing about who a person is, merely what they look like. That is my understanding of the principle of colorblindness. Now, how that principle would be a barrier to racial justice is a mystery to me. But let us have our expert enlighten us.
There's so many different answers to that question. I think the first and most important question is because of God's creation and how He's designed us.
God's creation and how He has designed us. Got it.
So if we find any value in how our wonderful God displays His glory and beauty, it's in creation. And if we look through creation and the natural order of things is that He's made people of different hues, different hair textures, different languages, then I think that's something that is a reflection of the beautiful mosaic that is God, right?
Right.
And so I think that's the grand theology of it all, is that we understand the image of God to be that He's created us like this, and all of this is a beautiful reflection of who He is. And to ignore that is not just ignorant, but I also feel like it's a spit in the face of our Creator.
So, wait a second. Colorblindness, or the principle of not making skin color a value factor in assessing a person, is bad because it is an insult to God to ignore skin color on that basis. So, in order to honor God, we must consider skin color when judging another person's character. Do I have that right?
So, for me to say, I don't see who you are, actually shows not only disrespect to God, but it also shows a little bit of my disingenuousness and also somewhat of my laziness to appreciate you, to know you, to love you for who you are. But also, I think even in that can be a form of supremacy in a sense of, like, I just want to see you for what I want to see you, right?
Right.
I'm not sure our speaker understands either what he is talking about or what he is implying. Skin color is a part of what you are, but it is not a hallmark of who you are. Skin color is not a mark in favor or disfavor of a person, unless you are a racist, of course. However, it sounds as though our speaker associates skin color with one's identity. And as we all know, racial identity is a unifying force within God's creation.
I don't want to submit myself, or I don't want to humble myself to say, you know what, there's some things about you that are different. I'm not really sure how to reconcile that with my worldview, but help me, right?
Right.
Help me walk through this thing with me.
I am honestly not sure what our speaker was saying there. If you have some ideas, please leave them in the comments below.
Then there's just the implicit assimilating or homogeneous mindset that we have in not wanting to see people for color, because it's like it just makes everything better when we're all assimilated to one particular culture, right?
Right.
Oh, so skin color equals culture. The culture exhibited by a black man in Zimbabwe is the same culture as a black man from the United Kingdom? The culture of a white woman from Texas is the same as a white woman from Serbia? Got it.
And so if I see you as something that's easily to assimilate into, then that means I know how to deal with you, right? Right? I know all the checks. Well, do you wear your pants on your hips the right way? Do you wear your hair short and tapered the right way? Do you speak with certain colloquials and idioms that I understand? Okay.
What does any of that have to do with skin color? Hair, style of dress, ways of speaking. Your melanin count doesn't have anything to do with any of that. Oh, wait, right. Skin color determines one's culture. From our speaker's perspective, the two concepts are irrevocably intertwined. Got it.
So if you, like, this is how I measure whether or not you're acceptable in my particular culture. Now, the moment you start to deviate from all of that, then now you're making me work, and I don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to have to do that.
So, wait a second. Our speaker first argues against setting race aside because he sees that as not only a dismissal of God's creation, but also an attempt to homogenize culture and thus eliminate other cultures. But now he's complaining that people who assess or anticipate a particular way of behaving of other people based on their skin color are wrong for doing so. So, ignoring skin color as a factor of someone's identity is wrong, but making assumptions of someone's identity on the basis of their skin color, that is also wrong. Yeah, I'm confused.
I have a line on one of my songs that says, "Thank you for inviting me to your melting pot," but I feel like I'm the one that's melting a lot, right? Right? And so this is the tension that we feel. It's like, yeah, there's a melting pot that is called America, but everybody's not melting. There's only a couple people. There's some people who are used to fire the flames of the melting pot. And in a sense, I feel like I'm the coals, right? Right? Because it's like you're using me to fuel that which is keeping this engine running, but you're not allowing me to partake in the taste of the stew. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. Or maybe? I mean, if our speaker is saying that he is melting in the melting pot, then he's a victim of cultural diffusion, maybe? Well, okay, so what's stopping you from acting the way you want and dressing the way you want, and, at least within the law, living the way you want? And what does any of that have to do with skin color? And why does our speaker think that he stands alone in such a personal conundrum of cultural identity? Is it because of his skin color?
I think that's kind of like a quick synopsis of how I feel about colorblindness. I think it's a very toxic and I think it's a very dangerous perspective, but I do understand why people say it. Like, I understand to some degree the heart of it. Like, they want to sacrifice diversity for the sake of harmony at times. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like,
They want to sacrifice diversity for the sake of harmony. Diversity, of course, meaning the importance of skin color. So, sacrificing the importance of skin color in favor of harmony. Well, sounds like a good deal to me. But if only someone had already made an eloquent case for that very idea.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
And I don't think they do it. They're doing it intentionally, but that's what it is. You're sacrificing authentic diversity and community for the sake of harmony when you talk about colorblindness.
Yes, colorblindness means to dismiss diversity and to eliminate cultures, because skin color determines the diversity of people and determines one's culture, their dress, their behavior, their way of speaking. Colorblindness is a destructive principle of social homogenization, not a rejection of making one's skin tone a character trait. Yes, let us all pray that we can someday live in a world where everyone, everywhere, will take skin color into account in our daily interactions. Because then, we will be able to set aside harmony for the true paradise of diversity and racial justice. God willing. As always, thank you for watching.